Hello students and welcome back to another episode of our program Aprender y Estudar em Casa. As always, my name is Edson Horta and I am your teacher for the English classes of the 9th grade. As always, students, before we start our class, we have to correct our homework. Now, did you remember that you had homework to do for today's class? I'm sure you did, and you did great. All right, so let's correct our homeworks. Last class, we talked about the zero and the first conditional, and you had 6 sentences that you had to complete using the zero and the first conditional. Now, let's see how you did. In the first sentence, you have, if we blank space, we blank space there in time. And you had to complete with hurry and get. Now, let's see how you should complete it. Very good. If we hurry, we will get there in time. Very good. Now let's go to the second sentence. If you blank space, water and electricity, you a shock. You had to complete using not mix and not get. Let's see how you did. Very good, students. If you don't mix water and electricity, you won't get a shock. Very good. Now let's go to the third sentence. If he blank space hard, he blank space the exams, and you had to complete with study and pass. If he studies hard, he will pass the exam. Very good, great. Sentence number 4. If the weather blank space nice, we blank space for a picnic tomorrow. You had to complete with not stay and not go. Let's see how you did. Awesome. If the weather doesn't stay nice, we will not go for a picnic tomorrow. That's it. Very good. Sentence number 5, if it blank space very cold, the river blank space, period. You had to complete with the verb to be and the verb freeze. Let's see how you did. Very good. If it is very cold, the river freezes. Yes, it's a scientific fact, so you had to use the zero conditional. Now let's go to the last sentence, number 6. If the baby blank space a boy, I blank space him Paulo. You had to complete with the verb to be and the verb call. Let's see how you did. If the baby is a boy, I will call him Paulo. That's it. All right, students, and those were the sentences that you had to complete using the zero and the first conditional. And as always, you did a very good job. Awesome. Now let's get to our class today and today's topic. Now today's topic is going to be fruits and vegetables. So this is going to be today's topic, and we are going to talk about, yes, in today's lesson you will learn how to use the gerund after like, love and hate, and also how to use the gerund after the prepositions after and before. As always, you have the sources that you can use in order to clarify your doubts and answer your questions. Yes, students, now that we have seen what is today's topic and what you will be learning today, let's start our lesson using the gerund after like, love, and hate. Let's go. You have 3 sentences on the board. In the first sentence, you have, I like going to the beach. And you have the emoji on top that shows you like. In the second sentence, I love listening to music. And once again, you have the emoji that represents love. In the last sentence, you have, I hate eating fish. And you have the emoji that represents hate. We can use like, love, and hate to say how we feel about an activity. And you have the emojis that help you do that. The emoji of like, the emoji of love, and the emoji of hate to help you identify these 3 words. Well, students, now that we have seen how we use love, how we use like, and how we use hate, all right? And for what? Let's talk about the gerund. Let's start today's lesson. So, the gerund. After like, love, and hate, we usually use the verb with ing. This ing is called the gerund, and you have examples. I like drinking water. I love eating eggplant, and I hate cooking pepper. There you have it, students. We use the gerund, that is the ing, after the verb and after the words like, love, and hate. All right? And you have the examples that show you that. For those of you that don't know what an eggplant is, this is an eggplant. All right? This is an eggplant, and this is the pepper. Okay? Do you like eating eggplant? Do you like eating pepper? All right, good. And you will answer it next time, all right? Let's continue our lesson. Now, some practical examples of how we use the gerund with the words love, hate, and like. In the first sentence, we have, she loves eating watermelon. And you have a watermelon in the picture. I like watermelon. They are very sweet. In the second sentence, you have, he hates eating onions. And in the picture, you have the onions. And in the last sentence, you have, they like eating carrots. And then you have the image of carrots. Well, students, those practical examples are to help you better understand how we use the ing after the three words, like, love, and hate. All right? And also remember that we use like, love, and hate to say how we feel about a certain activity. Okay? Good. Let's continue. Now, you must be careful, students, about something. We say, I like cooking. We don't say, I like to cooking. This is incorrect, so you must pay attention to this. We also say, she doesn't like studying. And we don't say, she doesn't like for studying. This is incorrect. So you must pay attention to these two. Just a quick note, students. Remember that when we are talking about the third person, he, she, and it, in the present simple, what do? We add s in the third person, all right? He likes, she loves, he hates, all right? So remember the rules of the present simple for the affirmative, for the negative, and for the interrogative when you're talking about this third person, okay? He, she, and it, okay? Let's continue our lesson. The gerund after prepositions. This is our second topic for today's lesson. The gerund must also be used when a verb comes after a preposition. As an example, we have, I like drinking water after playing sports. Now, the word after here is the preposition. And you can see that we use the gerund, the ing, after the preposition and in the end of the verb, playing sports. Let's see the second example. Annabella loves eating a banana before going to school. Now, once again, we have the preposition before, and then we have the gerund, the ing, after the verb go, before going to school. All right? So don't forget, the gerund after prepositions, after and before. There you have it, students, how we use the gerund after the preposition. We have two prepositions, after and before, and then after them you have the verb, and in the end of the verb you have the gerund, the ing. That's how you use the gerund after a preposition. Easy, right? Yes. Let's see some practical examples. In the first sentence you have, after 10 o'clock, he likes drinking coffee. In this sentence, what do you have? You have the preposition after in the beginning of the sentence. But this doesn't change the rule. The ing or the gerund comes after the preposition. Drinking, in the end, you have the ing. In the second sentence, you have, they love playing volleyball before going to sleep. Now, once again, you have the preposition before, and then you have the gerund, ing, after the verb go. Well, students, those were the examples of how we use the gerund after the prepositions. But we haven't finished yet, all right? To help you understand this better, let's see two more practical examples. Let's go. In our first sentence, we have, Alessandro loves drinking grape juice after playing football. Now, here we have the preposition after, and then we have the ing after the verb play, playing. In the second sentence, we have, Indira likes eating mango ice cream before going to sleep. Now, once again, we have the preposition before, and we have the ing or the gerund after the verb go, before going to sleep. Well, students, now that we have seen how to use the gerund after the three words like, love, and hate, and also how we use the gerund after the prepositions after and before, it's time to do our exercises. Well, students, now that we have seen how to use the gerund after the words like, love, and hate, and also how we use the gerund after the prepositions after and before, it's time to do some exercises. Yes, students, this is today's exercises. In today's exercises, you have to do this. The following sentences are out of order. Organize them using the gerund correctly. So you have some sentences here that are completely out of order. Your job is to organize them and also to use the gerund correctly. Let's see sentence number 1 and the example. In sentence number 1, you have to eat, Patrick, apple, and love. What you have to do is organize it and use the gerund. And the result should be Patrick loves eating apple. So this is what you have to do, students. Sentence number 2, you have cook, I like. Sentence number 3, before, go to sleep, drink, they, like, and milk. Sentence number 4, you have salad, hate, Jessica, to eat. In number 5, you have Coke, Kenny, love, and drink. And in sentence number 6, you have love, handball, play, after, do homework, and he. Yes, students, those were the sentences that you had to do the exercise. Now, remember, the order is to organize them and to use the gerund correctly, like you have in example number 1. All right? Let's do it. Well, students, now it's time for the correction, all right? How did you do? Yes, I know that you are very good students, and as always, you will do perfectly, all right? But we still have to check. Let's go. So in sentence number 1, you already have the example. We are going to start with sentence number 2. Cook, I, and like. Now, how would you organize the sentence? Yes, I like cooking. In sentence number 3, you have before, go to sleep, drink, they like milk. In sentence number 3, you have before, go to sleep, drink, they like, and milk. Very good. They like drinking milk before going to sleep. Now let's see the other sentences. Sentence number 4, you have salad, hate, Jessica, and to eat. Very good. Jessica hates eating salad. In number 5, you have Coke, Kenny, love, and drink. Awesome. Very good. Kenny loves drinking Coke. And the last sentence, number 6, you have love, handball, play, after do homework, and he. Very good. He loves playing handball after doing homework. And that was the exercise for today's lesson, students. And as always, you did very well, all right? But we have not finished our class yet. Now it's time for, you know it, your homework. Well, students, now it's time for your homework that you're going to present to your teacher at school, all right? This is what you have to do for today's lesson as your homework. Now, as your homework for today, you have to write 5 sentences using the gerund, and you have 2 examples. Example number 1, Cynthia hates cooking fish. Example number 2, Mauro loves playing volleyball. Yes, students, this is what you have to do and then show it to your teacher at school. Write 5 sentences like the examples that you have seen today using the gerund after like, love, and hate, and also after the prepositions after and before, all right? Don't forget, show it to your teacher at school. Okay? We have not finished our class yet. It's time for our review of today's lesson. Well, students, now that we are finishing today's class, let's review what we learned today. So in today's lesson, we learned that we use the verbs like, love, and hate to express something that we like or dislike. And we also use them to express our preferences and tastes. When we use these verbs, we can follow the verb with the gerund, and we saw that the gerund is the ing. The structures of the sentences when you're using like, love, and hate are: after like, love, or hate, you have to follow it by the gerund, that is, the verb plus the ing in the end. And you have the following examples. I like going to the beach. This is me saying something that I like, my preference or my taste. I love going to the beach, or I hate going to the beach. All right, students, that's it for our review of today's lesson on how to use the ing or the gerund after like, love, or hate, right? I hope you enjoyed our lesson. Well, students, that was another episode of our program Aprender y Estudar em Casa. As always, my name is Edson Horta and I'm your English teacher for the 9th grade. Remember, students, that we are living a pandemic situation with COVID-19, so it's very important for you to follow the 3 rules. Wear your masks, practice social distancing, and wash your hands. This was your teacher, and I love being with you. Stay safe and practice your English.